Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nika, and with last night's episode of Queen Sugar, this is the season 3, episode 7, Steady War No More. Oh, good old Christian song we used to sing down to the church house. Oh, good Christian song, I'm telling you. Anyway, it take me a minute with this review because I have to really watch, focus, and pay attention to the smallest of details because they all matter. So let's get into the review, honey. Okay, we open up this episode pretty much surrounding Unvi's 60th birthday and the party they're throwing as a surprise. Now, Hollywood comes in with flowers and balloons, and they talking, and Vi is talking about the deal that Mr. Jim, the guy who has the stores that house her pies and whatnot. Well, last week he had given her a proposal, and in that proposal, he wants to go into business with her. He wants to get 60% of her profits while she get 40, and that's not sitting well with her. She want to own her own for real, and she said she thinking about getting him, getting her own shop, and she gonna try to convince him of this. And Hollywood agreed that it was a good idea. Then he gave her this big box. And when she opened it, the box was empty. And she said he told her whatever she want, he will fill that box with it because she deserves it. And I said, oh, my peoples. Now, let's talk Nova and Remy. I'm not feeling it, y'all. I'm not feeling it. Remy is definitely slick pursuing her, and I find it wrong because he liked her sister first. Now, they didn't have sex. Y'all gathered me in the comments and reminded me that they didn't actually have sex. They were about to, and they didn't do it. But nevertheless, they was together. So this shit looks nasty to me. We see her talking to Prosper at one point in the episode about farm life, his struggles he's had, and why he chose to lease opposed to own and all that. Then he began to speak about her father and how they became such good friends. He said one night after Trudy, which is Nova's mom, had passed away, Ernest, her dad, had called Prosper, and they ended up meeting out in the fields, and he was basically questioning, man, was all of this worth it? Is any of this worth it? They talked, and he told Nova, he found Ernest in that field that night with a gun. And it's at that moment Nova realized her daddy faced struggles she never knew about, because on the outside he seemed so strong. And if you recall, she had said several times in this season as well as the last 2 seasons of how strong Ernest Borderline was. But we found out, and we knew, those of us with sense, and she learned that he was struggling after the mother died, and he wanted to end it at one point. Nova shook because she never knew, and that kind of surprised her, and it stayed on her mind so much so when we have Unbiased Party, at one point she was actually sitting alone drinking her a beer, just minding hers, contemplating. And up comes Remy over there trying to get her to rejoin the party at Vi's request of them, but she opted to just sit alone for a little while. So she kind of like in thought, and she ain't really messing with him, but he can't resist her, and I find it disgusting. I really do. I do not want to see a union of Remy and Nova. I feel like Nova deserves somebody, but not him. Okay? Now, the reason I say he pushing up on her more than she do him is because later on, toward the end of the party, we see her in the kitchen. In the kitchen, she washing up some of the dishes and stuff, and he brings in more. And they have this moment, guys. I mean, he started caressing her hand and shit. They started staring at each other's eyes, and I did not want this to go nowhere. I do not. I see it coming, y'all, and I just don't like it. But they didn't do anything in that moment, but they had that moment yet again with one another. Now, let's discuss Micah a little bit, because he didn't play a big role into this. Now, y'all know he in public schooling now, but it seemed like he around the many Black Panthers more than he is Kiki. Now, I'm going to guess that is because he has become aware of his awareness, if that makes sense. And that little mini Black Panther group he likes, they all about awareness and calling out different injustices and whatnot. So at the party, there's a scene where he and Kiki are in a room at Vi's house kissing down, baby. And Vi came in there and kissed him and tell him to come on out that room and keep the door open. She opened the door. Well, they stayed in there a few minutes, and one of the many Black Panthers text Micah saying they about to go do something. And he asked Kiki, you want to go? And she said no. Now, he asked if they were still friends because they were, and she said they cool, but they just on different paths. And that's pretty much all they were able to get out, because Vi came back to that room and asked them why they still in there. And they had to exit stage left because Vi wasn't about letting them teenage hormones go into overdrive. Vi said, shit, ain't no teen sex or pregnancy over here under this house, honey. And I said, I know that's right. Vi nip it in the bud, because they was in there getting real deep into their kissing and whatnot. Now, child Darla. Darla called over to Ralph Angels and she wanted to get Blue. She done got his room finished, it's painted and everything, and she's got tickets to a kid exhibit at a kid museum that he wanted to see. Ralph Angel said that it was Aunt Vi's birthday, and she would be heartbroken if Blue wasn't there. So Darla submits and agrees to let him go ahead and do that and not interrupt it. She just said the next day I'll just come and take him to breakfast, and Ralph Angel agreed to that. But you could tell when she hung up, she felt it's just like a slap in the face to her every time. I mean, events like this she would have been at, but things are so different now because everything out in the open about what she had been holding back for the last couple of years. So she really has hurt that family, and they don't associate with her. So hearing that Vi's having this birthday party, just another reminder of how much she really not a part of this family anymore. Not in the way she was. Well, they having a party, and Childish Trend, the old girl that he worked for, comes by via invite from Ralph Angel, and he introduced everybody, and it's all good. Everybody seemed to be cool with this. She even met Blue, and everything was, seems nice. They seem accepting of her. He was a little nervous, but he did warm up eventually. Vi came in and asked Ralph Angel to go get more ice because they was running low. So Trent, Ralph Angel, and Blue headed on over to the store to get the ice and whatnot. Child, daughter was at the damn store and saw him. And that look in her eyes, I want to feel bad for her. But again, she kind of brought this on herself. But I know that got to be hurting because she know Ralph Angel is very particular about Blue. So for him to have Trent around Blue, that means she make a headway with him. And that is just another representation of the fact that they are done. It also probably made her feel a bit jealous. But, she did place herself in that predicament, so we have to understand it is what it is. Ralph Angel saw her too, but he didn't say nothing. Later on, when she came to take Blue for breakfast that next morning, she asked if they, she said they need to have an official schedule. He feels like it's unnecessary, but she said she had his room finished. It was painted. She had bought those tickets, and she wanted to really, spend time with him. But due to the fact they don't work this out on a schedule, her plans had to be canceled, so she wants an official schedule. Then she asked, who was she? He said a co-worker, a friend. She said, well, we need an official schedule. And Blue came in that moment, and you could tell she hurt. She really loved him, but she messed up. And now it just can't be no more. He not here for it. Then to topple it all off with, you didn't tell me, but then when you do tell me and I go get the DNA, girl, I ain't even this child's father. But I can't not be his father anymore just because of what papers say, because I bonded with this child. So it's gonna be, it's a very complicated situation that she could have avoided, but she was in a sick place at the time that all of this happened. So I do give her credit for standing in her shit. She owned it. When she had to own it, she owned it, and she's dealt with every blow that this family has dealt her as a result of finding out what she had been holding back all these years, okay? So Off the breakfast they go, child. Now, Benny and Ralph Angel did have a moment where they met up, and he apologized to Ralph Angel because he said he was supposed to be hanging out with one friend. He had no idea that friend would bring others. Ralph Angel gave him another chance and told him, I'm going to do this because someone gave me one once too. And he didn't fire him, but he let him know, I don't play by my house and I don't play by my child. So Benny had to respect that. Now, I'm trying to like Benny, but I still just, I don't know, my side eye is deep on Benny. We gon' just keep watching him and see what he gonna bring. Child, the worst of the damn show was when I began to worry about my relationship, honey. And that's the relationship that me, Unvi, and Hollywood got. We met Hollywood mama, Willa Mae. And you can tell from the onset of her showing up that her and Vi have differences. And I was prepared to get ready to read Miss Willa Mae, because you know the elderly can get it too if they out of line. Because she came in and I felt she was being shady about Vi's age. But Vi asked Hollywood was his mama staying at a hotel, and of course he not putting his mama in no damn hotel. And once she presented Vi with that little cute little apron as a birthday gift with her logo on it, it kind of softened Vi up a little bit. So she was like, "Let me get the guest room together for you." And I was here for it because I said, "Okay, Miss Willa Mae, we're going to give you a pass because you supportive of Vi's endeavors, and I'm here for that, baby. We talking about support. We don't want no hate." So later on at the party, it's Hollywood and Mama Willa Mae. They have a moment to have a little talk, and basically she asking why he with Vi. She say she older. She said no way, she ain't giving no kids, and he'll be taking care of her eventually. Meanwhile, who gonna take care of him? And what about your dreams? You know, it's cool to be here for her, but she established. What about you? He said he can't help who he love. It may not be in the perfect package, but Vi is his soulmate. I said, okay, that's a quick way to shut her down. Later on at the party, he gave this big speech, big up in Vi, and thanking everybody for coming out to celebrate her birthday. And he asked everybody to raise their glasses to give a toast to his future wife, Miss Violet Bordelon Dejanay. And baby, when he said that, you could see something was troubling Vi right in that moment. And I said, Lord, now this don't look like this gonna be lupus related. It's something about what he just said that shook her. So that night after the party was over, he come in there thinking he finna give him some birthday sex, and she explained she wasn't in the mood for him. Then she explained to him, look, I want you with everything in me, but my name, I want to keep it. I don't want to pick up your last name. And he was hurt. He said, look, you don't want a big wedding. I said, cool. You don't want my money. I still said, cool. Now you say you don't want my help with your business. I said, cool. But now you saying you don't even want my last name. And she was like, look, everything I got, I want here. But I want to keep my last name. I don't want it to be borderline hyphen Dejanay. I want to be Violet Bordelon all the way. And it has nothing to do with how I feel about you. Later on, he was in his field, son, and he went and talked to his mama, and she gave him some real. She said, Hollywood, that woman is established. She been through some things, son. Even though she came through the storm, don't mean she don't have scars. She said, it's not a big deal that she don't want to take your last name. She said she's starting a business now. And not because she was lazy, but because we was raised different. Things was different for us. She made him think some on how Violet must be feeling. So later we see him go apologize and tell her it's okay not to take his last name. But to show you that she ain't selfish, she didn't want no big wedding, but she agreed to give him that. At least I'm going to give him something. So she going to allow him to throw the big wedding, and he is happy as hell over that. And I am too, because I was worried about us. Lastly, let's talk Charlie, y'all. She in a coffee house having coffee, reading the paper, and on the front page of that thing is about Davis and this love child. So she quickly put this shit down, and up comes Jacob. I can't stand Jacob. He done found out by way of her secretary where she might be at, because he said she been avoiding her calls. She been avoiding his calls. And he understands, but he wasn't trying to upset her about the other night, but he enjoyed her conversation and he wanted to take her out again, maybe to a neighboring city where all eyes won't be on them. And she told him, first of all, I haven't been avoiding your calls. I had business to take care of. I like you too. But right now, I'm not in the headspace where I need to be doing any of that. Later on, we see her meet up with Ramon. I do believe that was his name. The guy from the night she went out with Ralph Ranger and her battery wouldn't allow her car to start. He helped her. They having a conversation, and we learned a little bit. We learned that he pretty much like Charlie. He put all his energies into his work to avoid dealing with things that's going on. He got family in another part of the world. He want to bring them over, yada, yada, yada. They bonded over the fact that they got a whole lot in common. When things are bothering Charlie, she digs herself into work. But hopefully we'll see what's going to happen. I'd rather see her with him than to be dealing with that Boudreaux boy, because he full of drama. And he lied. He lied to her about that EPA and everything else. And Vicky going to come and tell us why, because the next scene had Vicky, her PI, coming to tell her, girl, it's bigger than we thought. And probably worse, okay? So we later see at the final scene of the episode, Charlie sitting down with the family and she telling them the reason why the Landers was trying to buy up all the land, and now they are evicting folks, and they want our land as well because they have a contract with the government to build a private prison to lock up folks, namely black folks, for money. And everybody is just floored by that. Ralph Angel is seething. He pissed off along with everybody else, but he walks out saying that's just not going to happen. And that is where we cut off at, you guys. I can't believe I got it done that quickly. Normally it take me a minute because I got to break everything down, but I was able to get everything in there, I do believe. If I left anything out you feel is important, please drop it down below in the panel section. Remember, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share the video if you'd like to, and don't forget to leave your comments. Also, I'll be back tomorrow for the return of Fuck Shit Friday. If you have anything you would like me to discuss, you can drop it below in the panel section, or you can contact me on one of my social media platforms. That's it, y'all. Have a great Thursday. See you guys tomorrow for Fuck Shit Friday. Peace.